Hi, Essentials parents. This is how I chose to organize my Essentials things. Now, I am an Essentials tutor, so I may have done things that might not be necessary for just a regular student, but I find the EEL guide is very overwhelming to me, and I couldn't find a notebook really big enough, so I actually got 2 different notebooks to keep my EEL guide in. So I just split it up and I put weeks 1 through 12 in one, and I tab them so that they're really easy to find. I page protected mine. You definitely do not have to do that. I just have a lot of kids and a lot of kids going through Essentials. This was my first, and I wanted my guide to really last. That was a costly endeavor, but I feel like it was worth it if I was tutoring. I don't know if I would do it if I was just a parent, but I would keep your guide separate. And then every week I would just take out the week that we were on. So I kept what I call my mom notebook, which if I was an Essentials mom, I would bring this to class. And so I got a flexi cover book. I put my campus's schedule in there of our combined EEL and IEW schedule. Your Essentials tutor will give you this. Then I put some things that if we were schooling on the go would just be handy to have. So the weekly practice sentences, that's page 435. The grammar mastery charts, this shows you like on week 4, these are the charts that they're going to be doing or reviewing that week. That's on page 397. A copy of the analytical task sheet. If you're new and you don't know what this is, do not worry. You won't be starting this until later, but it's very handy to have a copy of this in your notebook for as a teacher. That's page 437. These things are going to sound very foreign if you're new to Essentials, but the quid it quo, the basic and the detailed format, those are on page 439 and 441. I put those in there. I'm going to skip that for now. And then I would just take out the lesson that I was on that week. That way I could just sit down with my kiddo. I knew exactly what I was looking for. I could see at a glance what we were doing. I could see what the tutor had covered in class. And then I would have all of the dialectic sentences right there for me. It's literally scripted for you. And so I would just have all of that in there. The rest of this is pretty much tutor stuff, so you don't have to worry too much. But I do want to show you one other thing. Even if I was just a parent, I would have this. So I made a copy of my gear section out of my guide, and that starts at page 395, and it goes all the way through this chart Q on page 432. And I put that in there because these charts are essential to Essentials. And so you are going to need to reference those in class. So I like to have those in my mom notebook. Now, my student also has a notebook. That's great. He's got writing on it. It's a boy, so it's gonna be messy, y'all. So, and I didn't clean it before I took this video. So what I put in his notebook is he has the EEL scope and sequence. This is on page 20. I felt like that was helpful for him as he kind of went through the year to kind of know what is there. He also had a copy of the weekly practice sentences on page 435. That way, if I was ever without my handy dandy teacher notebook and we were schooling on the go, we could know the sentence. He had a copy of the grammar mastery charts on 397. Then he had a copy of the sample analytical task sheet on page 61 that kind of shows you how to do it. And then the whole rest of the book is all those charts that I talked about. The gears section, which starts on page 396. Even if you don't put the rest of your binder in, first of all, don't ever give your child your EEL pages. Those are precious, y'all, and they're expensive. Don't ever give your children those. Make a copy of the gears section. If you don't do anything else, make a copy of the gears section. They will need these charts in class. It is best for them to have them in page protectors. You can try to laminate them, but I found when I laminated them, he couldn't flip the pages very easily. So we just chose not to laminate them. In the back, he had a bunch of blank copies of the quid it quo, either the basic or the detailed format. Again, that's around page 440. so that he could do those on his own. And so we used those throughout the year. Then every week I would put, you can see we have some sentences in there. But every week I would put into his notebook